Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. Have you ever stopped to wonder, what if the most basic things, like beginnings and endings,
Yeah.
what if they aren't real? What if they're just, an illusion? It's a pretty wild question, right?
It really is. And that's exactly what we're jumping into today. We're looking at a fascinating piece from Anubhav Srivastava's book, Nothing Everything.
Ah, yes, the mind-bending philosophical theory of everything. And it's important to frame this correctly, I think.
Definitely. This isn't like a spiritual text or strictly science like physics, though it touches on scientific principles. It's presented as a logical philosophical theory.
A theory about ultimate reality itself. Pretty ambitious stuff.
Absolutely. A potential philosophical contribution, really trying to get at the fundamental nature of existence.
And our mission for this deep dive is to unpack one specific kind of shocking conclusion from it. It all starts with energy.
Right, the title of the segment says it all. The shocking conclusion: if energy can neither be created nor be destroyed.
Which is, the scientific fact in our universe,
Yeah.
the first law of thermodynamics.
Exactly. It's considered absolutely true, at least in this version of reality we experience. Energy changes form, but the total amount stays constant.
Okay, so energy can't be created or destroyed. Let's tease that out. What does that actually imply?
Well, think about it. If it was never created, then it never began.
No starting point.
Right. And if it can't be destroyed, it will never end.
No endpoint either. It just is.
It just is. It has always been there, and it always will be, which is very different from how we see almost everything else.
Yeah, like trees grow and die, rivers change course, people are born and pass away. Everything seems to have a start and a finish.
But not energy, fundamentally. According to this law, it doesn't need a cause to exist. It just exists.
Okay, existing without a cause.
Yeah.
That's already a big leap. How does that connect to, time?
That's the next step in the logic. Cause and effect seems to require a sequence, right?
Yeah, something happens before something else. Cause first, then effect.
Exactly. And that before and after relies entirely on the concept of time flowing.
So if energy exists without a cause,
Then it must exist outside that flow of time. It doesn't need a before to explain its existence.
whoa, okay. So timelessness. What does that mean here? Is it like lasting forever?
Not quite eternal in the sense of lasting through all of time. It's more radical. It's suggesting a state where time, as we perceive it, past, present, future, doesn't actually exist in that linear way.
No separate moments, just
Yeah.
everything.
Everything just is, all at once. The book uses a great analogy.
Oh yeah, the book analogy.
Right. Imagine you're holding a physical book. From your perspective, holding it, the entire story, beginning, middle, end, exists simultaneously between the covers.
Okay, I see the whole potential story there.
But when you read the book, you experience it page by page, sequentially. You create a sense of time passing within the story.
So our experience of time passing is like reading the book, page by page.
While the reality might be the entire book existing at once, timelessly, our perception of sequence is, in this view, potentially an illusion based on how we experience reality.
Okay, mind officially bending. So if time is illusory, what about things that seem totally defined by time, like life and death?
Exactly. Our whole concept of being born, living a sequence of events, and then dying, that's entirely based on experiencing time linearly. Birth is a start, death is an end.
If that linear time isn't the fundamental reality.
Then maybe birth and death aren't the absolute beginning and absolute end we perceive them to be.
Is there an analogy for that too, like the book one?
Sort of, yeah. Think about a wave on the ocean.
Right.
A wave seems to appear, it rises, it crests, it crashes, it disappears back into the water. We see a life of the wave.
Right, it has a clear beginning and end from our viewpoint.
But was the wave ever really separate from the ocean? Or was it just the ocean taking a temporary form, a movement of the water that was always there?
Ah, I see. The water itself wasn't created or destroyed, it just changed shape for a bit.
Precisely. So applying that, perhaps life and death are like those waves. They are temporary forms, transformations of this underlying timeless energy or existence.
Forms within this unchanging, timeless whole that Srivastava describes in Nothing Everything.
That's the idea presented. They seem distinct to us because we're experiencing time sequentially, like watching one wave at a time.
So let's try to wrap this up. What's the really shocking conclusion here?
Well, it builds logically. 1. If energy is uncaused, it must exist outside of time.
Got time with energy.
2. If time isn't fundamental, then past, present, and future aren't neatly separated. They might coexist, making our sequential experience an illusion, like reading the book.
Right, the illusion of sequence.
And 3, if that's true, then concepts totally dependent on sequence, like our conventional ideas of life and death as absolute starts and stops, must also be, in a fundamental sense, illusory.
Wow. Illusory beginnings and endings. Just transformations in a timeless whole.
It's a profoundly different way to view existence, built step by step from that initial premise about energy. It's quite compelling logically, even if it challenges everything we feel.
It really does. It sort of reframes, well, everything. So for you listening, what does this actually mean? I mean, if every moment, every supposed beginning, every apparent end maybe already exists,
Yeah.
all at once, how does that change how you see your own life, your own now?
Does it make the present moment feel different, maybe more connected to everything else?
It certainly gives you something deep to think about. Maybe your journey isn't just a line from A to B.
Yeah.
Maybe it's part of a much bigger, timeless picture.
It's definitely an invitation to ponder. We really encourage you to reflect on these ideas, maybe even check out Anubhav Srivastava's Nothing, Everything for the full context.
It could genuinely shift your perspective on what it means to exist. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.